either visiting with friends or, hanging out, talking to friends at restaurants or places that we gathered. So it was nice. It was a really perfect vacation. Most everybody was available. And yeah, so it was good. That was it in a nutshell. Hanging out, talking to friends at restaurants or places that we. Oh, I have some feedback.
Okay.
I heard. Yeah, I heard myself repeat. I heard myself what I had said being fed back to me.
Yeah, while I was recording, there was two devices on at the same time. So yeah.
All right. How about you? Look at you and your little curl on your forehead.
Yes. So
cute.
Yeah, thank you. So what I do is I have been treating my hair. I told you, last 2
Yeah.
So my hair actually started becoming gray. Because not naturally, because I used one mehndi, henna, henna. So that was chemical. And because of that, it destroyed my hair. So,
some of it broke off. Is that a piece in the front where some broke off?
No.
Okay.
Just a smaller hair.
Just a little short one. Okay.
Yeah. So I started treating my hair with few herbs mixed with oil, mustard oil, and cooked together, and that oil. So I have applied oil in my hair.
Yeah.
Earlier I applied that paste. So it was like I had to tie my hair overnight.
Hair is a big deal for us, isn't it?
Yes. So yeah. So now it is fine. I'm feeling great about
my good. Well, you look cute with it. You look cute with it back off your face or however you wear it.
So how actually I just put into a bun in the morning. I actually put water on my head. My hair is wet when I go to office. So I just put into a bun, and afterwards when it dries, then I turn the hair off. I keep it like that only.
Okay.
But this is summer, so we get a lot of sweat. That is why I'm keeping it as a bun. But normally I open the hair. I like to wear my hair open, just like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I see you have your fan on, so it must be hot there too, right?
Yeah, fan and AC both are running.
Both of them. Wow.
Very humid. It's very oppressive at this time of the year, because the rains are here, and with rains it doesn't bring any coolness to the air. It brings a lot of humidity. Very oppressive. Yeah. So by the time
I think I don't know if it gets quite as hot here as where you are, but we're going through the same thing. And in Cleveland, I mean, you're used to it lasting for a long time. In Cleveland, it was before I got there. They had like 3 weeks of no rain, which is for them that's considered a drought. So when it rained, it was a big deal. But here, it's been very hot and very humid, just like you're talking about. So, I sat in Villa Joy yesterday. And it was smug. That was the only word there's no way to open the windows. So it was just intensely so I had to order a fan because no one will want to sit in there if there's no fan.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so I just sat there in the quiet by myself and, daydreamed a little bit. It was fine, but I had a couple visitors on Thursday, and one of the ladies has very thick, wavy hair past her shoulders, and she was roasting. She said, I gotta go. I'm always hot, but I know why she's hot. She has this little face, and she doesn't. I've never seen her wear her hair up off her neck, and yeah, it was like a horse mane, but whatever. Everybody has to do their own thing. It's pretty. I always wanted long wavy hair, but I know she was warm. So are we gonna be on here with anyone else, do you think, this morning, or just you and me, or what?
No, after some time others should join. Let us see if they are able to join, because Saturday, Ernest, it is his resting day. So maybe that is why he hasn't joined. But again, they have given me this task of that proposal. On that proposal, Ayantu needs to work mostly, because now it is only her. Whatever work she has been doing, she has to outline all those work into that proposal. And after that, we can proofread that by somebody. And then the second thing is the website. Website thing I'll do. What happens is I have a class in which I get step by step instruction instantly. So I'm waiting for that class to repeat, so that I don't have to invest extra time doing that website. So for the first skeleton thing, I need that instruction. Once that is done, then all the other things we can do by ourselves, the photographs and other things also. Right now, I have created that Facebook group. Maybe you haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't seen it yet.
It's a group only in Facebook. Like you are in my profile page. Whenever I post it there, when I tag, then you go there without realizing that you have been into that group.
Oh.
If you see that tag, if I tag, you can see, and then if you put some reaction, then it will be in that group only.
Okay. So, what's the name of the group?
Same name, African Crusade.
Same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that group I created so that many other African people can join.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And we cannot allow them to be in our website. So somewhere those people have to be there, right? So that is why that group, many interaction, and also in this website, there will be requirement of who are the people who are pushing this crusade forward. Maybe all of us, you, me, Ayantu, and Margeta. He hasn't ever joined the call because of network issue. And Ernest. Patricia may be another one. And of course, Dr. Anita also. She is not able to give time, but I have asked her to speak to Ernest, because as you have been telling me, his views are going somewhere, and he keeps liking whatever I post. That is what I have seen. But that is not enough. He has to do his own bit. Now this Sister City program, he has to do a little, I think. It is not much that it comes to him, but he didn't take any proactive step. That is what I understand.
Yeah. As I said to you more than once, or in my last communications that are just to you, it's time for him to step up and do what he said he would do. And I am not going to approach him first now that I'm back online. from the very, I have no doubt that he's very committed to, the vocational schools and to his projects.
Yeah.
I don't think his niche is operating in a group where he has to do small things that are beneath his desire to do. From the beginning, I've kind of been holding back from the beginning because my intuition at the beginning, when he sent us such a long list of all the things that he does, that just told me about how he operates and what is more important to him. I don't think he's a bad guy, but I think he, since it's just you and me on here, I think he is, he's part chauvinist and part out for the fame and recognition that he can get for himself and his school, and I understand that. He was starting to take up. I was starting to get a lot of phone calls from him every day, where he was at home after his work day, and he was calling to just chit chat, and that was okay for a while, but I started to feel like boundaries were being crossed. And so my 2-week vacation gave me an opportunity to step back and see just where he was coming from. I don't need another African guy or any guy um, making what women have to do and what women have to say and how women have to interact be a bad thing. And his it wasn't an implication. He just said it. We talked too much. He felt like all of our conversation was unnecessary. And what I realized at the time was he doesn't understand how women work. And I would venture to say that probably spills over into other areas of his life that I have no need to get into.
Yeah.
So, I'm not upset, but what I did this morning was I got back in touch with the woman who first answered. She's the membership person for Sister Cities. And she was supposed to, in a couple days, this was weeks ago now, she was supposed to send me the names of smaller cities that are like Alderson. So with the city council meeting on the 13th of July here, I'm hoping that she will, and I told her when I need the names. So she's got 2 weeks to do it. And I'll go to the next city council meeting. But if the city council has formed the committee, if they've been interested enough to go that far, with the 4th of July celebration being a big deal here, our mayor may not even have formed the committee. And until she gives me what I need, I'm not going to pursue this with city council. I'll just wait and see, who from the other end is interested and who isn't. And we'll go from there. I don't have any ill feelings, but I don't need to add another thing to the stuff I have to do, nor do I have to continue to present myself to city council as if I have another very interested party, when I really, in fact, may only have somebody interested in, oh yeah, I'd be happy to talk to the mayor. Sure, we'll have a Zoom meeting with the mayor, and then nothing happens from his end. So that's my take on it.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what happens. But that's why I said to you, how if I stop working with Ernest like I was, because I'm not getting, his cooperation in the sense that he's committed to. Are you happy with what's going forward with Ayantu and the kids?
No. So, what we can do is, Nest is an introduction to whole thing by Dr. Anita, because she was introduced to very enthusiastic people. She doesn't have time to understand where they come from, what is
Right.
primary interest. So she has introduced him to me. And because he is from Africa, so I thought it is only appropriate for to include him in this
Okay.
area. But the
Yeah.
main thing is Ethiopian orphanage, right? For which we have started work.
Right.
And if if that orphanage gets some kind of support because of the sister city, then Alderjan might not be the choice. I don't know many cities in Ethiopia, but one city can be the sister city where IM2 can take care of that. So we don't have to depend on Ernest. The
Okay.
only idea of sister city is that will attract some kind of attention to the orphanage where it all started.
Yeah.
And the activities will go broader, beyond the orphanage. Orphanage is
Yeah.
one idea from where we all started. So all
Right.
of us, to be meaningful, we need to contribute in small way to that orphanage so that it grows. And
Mm.
right now, we don't have any interest, our own interest into that,
Yeah.
except that one orphanage gets sustainability, and that will help somehow. There are so many orphanages in my area also. There may be
Of course. Of
yeah,
course.
in
We
your
could.
area also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got introduced to one person from India who is now a citizen of US. So he lives
Oh.
in New Jersey and also has a house at Los Angeles. And
Oh.
I asked him whether he would be able to support me in the cause of Ethiopian thing. But because they have to save tax, they actually donate to these orphanages. In India, he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But there were some cases where the orphanage money was not going to the orphanages, it was going elsewhere. So he was saying, so
Okay.
whenever he can donate, he will donate to Indian orphanages, not to Ethiopian, because it also is logical.
Okay. Okay.
He doesn't understand why I should be contributing to Ethiopian orphanages, because he started telling me that there are ways with which I can, some refugee fund has been generated during COVID time,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a way I can earn those reward point with which I can exchange for some 4,000 or $5,000. He was saying.
Oh.
So I said that will be a very lengthy process. I don't have that kind of time to generate reward point for me, because those activities
Mm-hmm.
are very different. So whoever
Yeah.
has lost a family member, suppose a girl is there and she has lost her parents and she needs to get married, and if I have helped her in getting married, then I would earn some reward points. See, I don't have that kind of time to get into that kind of issue. I only
Yeah.
can,
I understand.
yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
So, so he didn't understand also, and yeah. So that was kind of thing, and all the time I think of. Did I tell you about the dream that I have kept for myself? Is
I don't think.
Yeah. So this is about all the things that I have worked on, all my career. It is about
Mm-hmm.
peace, and cooling, the carbon footprint, because that is everybody's responsibility now, not only 1 or 2%. And then the greening, agriculture is diminishing. Nobody wants to get into agriculture, even if he is a farmer. They don't want their children to be in agriculture. So agriculture has to be very scientific and very highly technology intensive for it to be attractive. So that is my mission, because with my background that can be done. People are working on that, but it has not yet reached to the farmers level. So I wanted to work on that. So where to start from? It can start with this kind of this Ethiopian this thing, that they have some agricultural land and to work with health. They also are doing some herbal cultivation. We can give them these ideas, because how much I can do, tell me. I just tell another person, right? And help her expand whatever operations she is doing. So it kind of resonated with my own meaningful mission that I have. That is, I got into this. And there is no immediate reward, as I said. If I am to expand, this Ethiopian orphanage expands, there is no financial reward that I think of. So only my idea is to help this group, so that I get some insights from this, and I help elsewhere also.
Right.
And
do you think? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then you coming in with your idea of sister city, that gets integrated into that. That is how we expand, right? That will be a sure way of reaching out to many people. If the mayor, I would have never reached to him unless you were there. And this is how things expand. And the people then Dr. Anita knows so many from other. They those kind of connection we need to build.
Right.
So, and
right. Just because it might not work with Uyo, and they have over 1 million people, so maybe it's not the best fit, but just because it may not work with Uyo doesn't mean we can't take it forward somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not throwing out the work that anybody has done. I just am pacing myself to see what avenue, where the best fit is going to be.
Yes. So Antu would be the right kind of person, because she has got a lot of commitment towards that orphanage. And she has this ability to network also. Not like Ernest, maybe, but she also does a lot. So so she that one also we need to encourage her to go and do more. And this website thing she is not able to do because she has to spend a lot. They charge like a lot. So here I can do very cheaply. It is my effort only, the website designing, and it's just $49 or $50 if I buy the website also. And annual also will be that much only, not more than.
Do you think that we are asking her to do too much?
No,
I wondered when I bought all those, I didn't buy a lot of paint, but I mean, it was another part for her to have to be involved in. And that's why I suggested that she go to a school or somewhere, a university where they might have kids that could help her. Because I was starting to feel like maybe we were asking her to do too much based on what she's already doing with the kids.
No, actually, she she is not directly doing anything with the kids. That part is taken care by Margeta, the founder of that orphanage.
Oh,
She does the
the young
coordination work.
man.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
So coordination, she has to do a lot of things. It cannot be just
o-
one or two. So
okay,
in that way, you are not we are not asking her too much. But see,
okay.
if we provide her with some resources, she can reach out to lot many people.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
that
Now
that
I thought she was the person, with the hands on the table and feet on the ground, actually, doing the feeding and stuff. I didn't know the hierarchy of who's doing what there.
yeah. So she stays at the capital city. That is why she is able to reach out to us whenever we call for a meeting.
Okay.
And but Margeta is not able to join that because his network is too bad because he is in the remote place with the school
He's he
nearby.
he he's what, Nalima? He's what with the school?
He is the
Say
founder.
say that again.
He is in a very remote place where the school is,
Okay.
very far off place from the capital city. That is
Oh,
what he, yeah. And
okay.
he 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 is the founder of the organization, and
Okay.
that organization has now got license from the government to do many things. So it is not only that orphanage, other welfare and development activities also they can take up because they have got that license.
Oh, good. Okay.
Uh,
That clears it up a little. Do you know the size of the city where he is actually located with the children? Do you know the name of the place and how big it might be?
that place is not that big, not very populated area, uh,
Yeah.
but not very developed as well. Because network is an issue means there is not much
Uh,
activity. So
Okay.
it cannot be very big.
Okay.
Uh, uh, but that is where these children are. Maybe because that is the cheapest area also to keep the children.
I
That
understand.
uh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It sounded like Ayantu had a conversation. It sounded like in one of the conversations that she had with Ernest when she wanted him to come over there, she was saying that they need better housing too. And and we've heard her talk about how they want to make sure that the kids all at least eat once a day. And I didn't know at that time that she wasn't physically there with them. I didn't realize she was miles apart in the capital city. So I can imagine they need a little of everything, just like the children in your area need a little of everything.
Yeah. So yes, so she goes there weekly once or twice maybe
Okay.
because of the nature of the work is like that.
Hmm.
It has to be
Hmm.
nearby the capital city. That is what I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
And because
What
he
is what is the capital city of Ethiopia
Addis
where she
Addis Ababa, Addis Ababa.
Addis Ababa?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Go
So
ahead. I just interrupted you. Go ahead.
so she does a lot, but she is finding it difficult to mobilize resources. And that is where we can help in a very small way. And Dr. Anita actually uh, contributes to some extent to that orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
She sends money for the children to eat.
Yes.
And that is where I try to contribute also. But my
Mm-hmm.
credit card thing happened and it is not yet sorted out. So that will
Yeah.
get sorted in not in 1 or 2 months max.
Yeah.
Then I will also can start contributing in a small amount, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that helps that cause, but it needs to expand
Yeah.
for all the things that she is thinking. And yes, and that can be a model for other orphanages also in other areas,
Mm-hmm.
in other countries
Mm-hmm.
or or continents, you can say. India, a lot of them are there, but they are all
Yeah.
struggling. Uh, they don't actually get this facilities that uh, they should have, the children should have.
Yeah. This is a separate subject, but a while back, Sadhguru was running all around India, parts of India, on his motorcycle, raising money for soil. For his project called Soil. What do you think of that? And were you anywhere near uh, anybody working with that project, or were you?
So there is this nowadays people have become very spiritual in India, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
So Sadhguru runs his this Isha Foundation he has created, right?
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
one organization, and he has a program also. There is a very large following that he has, and he also is raising money. He is doing good work, but I
Yeah.
don't like him because of his there is a preference for the way. I don't like he is very aggressive kind of a personality. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, suppose we are afraid, then he is very aggressive towards that. No, I cannot take that. But his ideas are very good, as you were saying. Whenever I listen to him, it is he breaks all the ideas, previous ideas that one has, and
Yeah.
establishes something very inquisitive, and everybody should have that. And I told you about Ravi Shankar, Sri Ravi Shankar. He is another school, and he has this art of living, which I follow. And
Yeah.
he is a very mild kind of person, and he is the chairperson of the all the spiritual schools that now have prominent
Uh,
spiritual schools. So they are also doing the same thing, these river projects and the climate change thing, agriculture. There are many projects, both the schools, both the entities, they are running, and they are very good. They are helping
uh,
people because both of them are
yeah.
operating in the southern part of India.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
part actually had very little rain in where Sadhguru
Excuse
is
me.
there. Yeah, Sadhguru is there in Tamil Nadu where the rain is very little. So
Mm-hmm.
so both of them are working in the river project to recharge those rivers.
So
And
I guess, like you just said, every um, attempt to make some kind of difference, even if you don't agree with the person's approach or philosophy. It at least is is making people aware
yeah,
of
yeah.
what's going
So
on.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
The ideas you cannot refute, right? The way
Right. Yeah.
the you if you are listening to those ideas, people need those ideas. Like say
Mm,
lot years of say it is like thinking very passive way.
yeah.
There is no logic to why people follow those kind of rituals. And suddenly, people don't follow rituals, but they have become spiritual. That means they
Mm,
have started thinking beyond thinking, thought process. That is like realizing your true potential. That is the real spirituality.
yeah.
And that has started. That movement has started.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there is a government right now. Um, our Prime Minister also visited US recently, and he comes from a background which is uh, kind of very doubtful kind of background, you can say. So he is not
Okay.
educated. He hasn't gone to school. He is not educated. But somehow the politics is like that. So he has come to power because the normal uneducated person relates to
As
him.
yeah, I understand. I understand.
And all these spiritual people kind of supported by him. So, and these people also support him. So there is this kind of situation. Then everything becomes doubtful, you know. You don't really trust anybody
Mm-hmm.
in that kind of situation. You follow only what appeals to you. So that is what I do. I
Yeah.
I don't follow anything, but what whenever I see something which I like, then I
Mm-hmm.
give it a thought that the process that Sri Ravi Shankar does is he creates this breathing technique. Even
Yeah.
Sadhguru does that. The processes are a bit different, but it is to do with breathing, you know. So all our
With
ailments,
with
physical
yeah.
problems are because of breathing. That is what they see. And when you do it
When you're
correctly,
saying breeding, you're saying breeding, a person's breeding, like their genetics. You're saying their genetics.
no, no, breathing, taking breath.
Oh, breathing. I'm sorry. I thought you said breeding. Okay. I
Uh,
get it.
so
Yeah.
your the amount of air, oxygen that you take in
Yes.
and how you retain it and then you give it out, you have to regulate your breathing.
Yeah.
That cures you of everything, physical element and mental element as well.
That's the way Sadhguru looks at it.
So both of them, all the spiritual schools
Oh, both.
look at it more or
Okay.
less in the same manner. So it is
Yeah,
your
it's a
choice.
big deal here too. Yeah, it's a big deal here too.
Yes, yes. So
What's the who's the man that who is the person that runs Art of Artful Living that you were talking about?
he is Sri Ravi Shankar.
Uh okay.
You
And
can
could I is he on he's on YouTube probably like everybody
all the
else?
everywhere he is. He is the
Okay.
maximum follower, even more than Sadhguru.
Okay. I will look him up. I will look him
Yeah,
up.
yeah. And he is in the US right now, I think so, because
Oh,
he goes there very often. Uh, like say, even Sadhguru goes
well,
to.
he has a center here in Tennessee. Did you know that?
So Art of Living also have several centers in US.
Sure.
All over
Yeah,
Europe,
I bet.
they have, yes. So they have centers. Even Paramahansa Yogananda, you might have heard about them
Oh
also.
yeah,
They
yeah.
also,
I read the big book on him. Yeah,
yeah. So they have a center and they also have a way of living. And there is another
yeah.
one, Muktananda. So they have downsized their this thing. They don't encourage many people to come to their center unless
Mm-hmm.
they agree to be there on service basis. They have to do something, take care of something.
Mm-hmm.
So for 10
Mm-hmm.
days, it cannot be for 1 or 2 days. They have to be there at least for 10 days.
You have to volunteer for at least 10 days.
Yes, yes. And you have
Yeah,
to be part of all their spiritual activities deeply.
yeah,
It
yeah.
cannot be superficial. So that is one. And there are several centers like this, but these are the prominent centers. And there is this Buddhism is also going on. Namyoho Renge Kyo Buddhism, the Japanese Buddhism that has come back to India.
Yes.
So there is another stream. I actually everywhere, if you go to their group, this group actually carry their own biases into that one. So when these biases come, if you are not open to every thought process, you are not actually spiritual. That is what my my thinking is. So you have to be
you have
open,
to allow everything.
allow everything. So people will celebrate their things their own way. So you don't have to say something. But when I see they say you should not do this thing because you are this, then I don't go to that group.
Yeah, your little red flag goes up. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I down here in the part of West Virginia where I live, or in the part of the South, because West Virginia is considered the South, I guess. It's on the borderline, but it's pretty southern. I, the politics, I just choose to be an independent voter, so I could change my mind about who I follow any election. It just depends on, like you, on what is going on at the moment and what resonates with me. But um, the way that I have chosen to look at the fact that I think I mentioned before, political signs are going up everywhere here already, and people are starting to talk politics. And the best way for me to look at it is to see how passionate people are, regardless of how they're going to vote.
yeah,
They are at least, they're at least impassioned with their beliefs.
yeah,
Because who am I to go around saying that one person is right and one person is wrong?
yes,
I can't do that. That's not my place.
yeah,
And so that goes a long way for me, being willing to see that we're all one in one way or another. And
yes,
you can't have the same beliefs as everyone. Even if you thought you did, the more you talked, you would ultimately find something you disagree on. So you have to agree to disagree.
yeah,
But a lot of people find that hard to do.
yeah, yeah. So,
And
yeah,
in the US, we want to be right. Here, our culture wants to win, and we want to be right because somebody has to be wrong. But that's just not how I look at it.
yeah, yes. So,
So yeah, I understand what you were saying about all of our biases, you know.
yeah.
And just when I think I don't have any, something will come up, and I'll find myself taking a step backward, going, "Oh, you might need to regroup on that, Sophie."
Yes, yes. A lot of that. So I have several temples around the place where I live,
Yeah.
and smaller ones, bigger ones. But there is one which has a very big compound. So
Mm-hmm.
when you go there and sit there, it feels very peaceful. So
Nice.
when I come back from office, if I have time, I go there and sit for say 10-15 minutes. It feels very
Oh,
good.
nice. Nice. That's a
Not,
good. That's another
not,
thing for you.
yeah, not very big crowd out here. Uh,
Uh,
maybe not even 20 people at that time. So it is not there. There cannot be 20 people at the same time, like more than 20 people, unless there is some kind of function going on.
yeah. Yeah. So it's a quiet spot.
Very quiet. And there are many like that. So you can choose. And it is a very quiet place also. The entire society is, we feel very quiet. So I love to come back home and sit on my own. Saturdays, Sundays are the best days for me, sitting at home and doing my own thing. And,
right.
Yeah.
But that is a lot of how Village Joy has developed. You know, it's open Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but almost every day that it's open, I find myself sitting at the far end in the farthest and quietest spot. And I just sit there and daydream and think about all the same kind of things that you're talking about. Sometimes I just sit and most of the time I just sit and be quiet and let my mind wander. And I think that's very helpful for me.
Yes.
Different. It's different than my morning meditation. You know, in the morning, sometimes I sit on my bed and do it. Sometimes I sit on the porch and watch the hummingbirds. But it's a different feeling when I go into Village Joy and just sit there. Not good or bad, just different. And when I was in Cleveland, I discovered the writings of a man named Joel Goldsmith, not to be confused with Joel Osteen.
Okay.
And Joel Goldsmith, it's basically, he just says our biggest issue is that we honor two powers. We honor anything. If we honor anything other than source, or however you want to describe that entity, if you honor anything other than that by saying, oh, there's good and evil in the world and there's right and wrong, then you're not honoring the one power and the one presence. And I I read one of his very basic books, and it was very helpful in that it just was like a booster shot for me about what I really believe. I never heard of this guy before. Vivian, my friend I stayed with, happened to be reading some of his books, and she got them because of the minister, the Unity minister died, and the church made his personal library available. So she got some of his books, and I ended up with enough to start a library, as I mentioned. So they're just an opportunity for people to expand what they know. I'm not here to convert anybody. I'm just here to say, if there's something that's not working for you, maybe this will help. Maybe this will help. I'm just a conduit. That's all. I just however people's lives work, and if they don't, then here's a opportunity. Pick what works and leave the rest of it. So I had I think that's part of why my visit in Cleveland was so nice, because I found his book early, and it just was a confirmation of what anybody, wherever anybody is that I was with, I could just be quiet and be with them instead of thinking, oh, that's not right or that's wrong or whatever. I just kind of work with cause and effect, I guess.
Yes,
So,
yes. Very nice.
how are your how is your garden? How's your porch garden doing? Do
My
you have
garden
any
is doing
any
excellent. Now it
fruit
has,
or
yes, no fruits, but
no?
leaves, because I eat lot of leaves.
Oh,
So there are two kinds of leaves, three kinds of leaves are there right now. So
Yeah.
one is amaranth, you might be
Oh,
knowing.
I like, yeah, amaranth. Yeah.
Yeah. And there is another which is called portulaca.
Oh, I have those. I have portulaca flowers growing on my porch.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah. So the leaves I eat, that has a lot of omega acid in it. So it gives you a
The
lot.
little spiny, the
Yeah.
little short
Yes.
spiny leaves. You eat
Yes.
those? I'll
Yes.
have to try it. I never
Yeah.
knew that was edible.
So you have to eat it with, I don't know how to cook. Just you can little saute with little oil. That's all
Okay.
you have to do. You put tomatoes, of course, for taste.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like it with tomato and lot of onions and those leaves. It is
Do
tremendous. Yes.
you do you eat the flowers?
Not flowers, only the leaf.
Oh, but does your portulaca plant have flowers?
Small flowers, yes.
But
Yeah.
you don't eat those.
No.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. And amaranth, of course, it is ongoing,
Yeah.
lot of them.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
another one, there is a creeper. I don't know its English name, but it is also a creeper. And it once it grows, it becomes huge. No, lot of leaves.
Mm-hmm.
So that one also, the leaves are very good, uh, very very good. And yes, these three are prominent, and other ones will come up, and after some time they will die. But these three will continue.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting. I'll have to taste one of the portulaca leaves and see what they're like.
yeah,
Excuse me. Um, I with everything else going with Villa Joy coming on this spring, I didn't get to put anything in pots that's edible that I knew about. Next
yeah,
year, I would like to grow some kind of green, some kind of a bitter green, like dandelions or there's an Italian. It's called we call it Italian broccoli, but it's also called rapini. It's a bitter green. Have you ever tasted that or seen it?
broccoli, broccoli.
Rapini.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah. This is like broccoli, and it's called rapini,
okay,
and but it's bitter, and I don't even know if I could grow it down here, but I'd like to have a couple pots of greens next year. I don't know that I have the energy, and the earth here is pretty. I don't have
yeah,
uh, you know what I'm saying. It'd be easier to grow it in pots or a
yeah.
long thing rather than
So
try to dig up the earth.
can you put in on the soil also, straight into the soil?
If I wanted to, yeah.
So Patulaka is easy to grow that way. You
Okay.
don't have to care a lot. So it just
Okay.
grows wildly. And another thing is there is this ginger. This
Yeah.
is the right time to sow it. Like say you can get few bits and just throw it, it will grow. There is another kind of ginger which tastes like raw mango, you know.
Oh. Oh.
Huh. Yes.
When
So
I end up buying the ginger root when I went to the Asian store and the Mediterranean store when I was in Cleveland, and I bought the ginger root at the Asian store and some incense,
huh.
and then at the Mediterranean store I bought, what did I buy there? Oh, a couple different kinds of tea
Hmm.
and rice. Oh, brown rice.
Hmm.
Um, about a month ago, I started eating just one time a day. I think I mentioned to you and I spread it out from 3 to 7 p.m. And so I haven't eaten any eggs or dairy or white flour in about a month. And I was hoping that I physically feel better, but I was also hoping that I would lose some weight. I have not lost a pound. And so last night I was like, are you kidding me? So last night I knew what was going to happen. I ate, what did I eat? I ate a slice of this sweet bread that my cousin sent home with me. And my gut this morning was doing flips. So I'm going to go back to where I was. But last night I was just, kind of like, what do you mean? I've been doing this for a month and I haven't lost a pound. So the reality of it is, the fact that I feel better, is enough reason to keep doing what I'm doing. But I just was a little frustrated last night with it all. So today I'll get back on the plan. But I'm a nighttime eater, and so I can go all day and not eat. But I do better that way than eating breakfast and then not eating after, like, eating breakfast and then not eating until and being done at 3 o'clock. That doesn't work for me. I'm better if I eat toward the end of the day.
Yes. So my usual weight is 62 to 64 kilos, So when I came to Delhi, suddenly it went up to 70 kilos. And then it was increasing because the physical activity is very less. And before this, I was walking from office to home and home to office. So there were like say 10 kilometers a day I was walking.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
But now I'm just beside the metro station. I get down and I get home. So not much walking. From office to metro is just 1 kilometer. So that much walking I do.
Yeah.
So it goes, it was like say going to 72 to 73 kilos. Then I watch that I should not go beyond 70 kilos, So that that 1.5 kilos you have to give yourself because something you are wearing also adds to your weight. So that is what I have been able to manage. So the moment I eat anything fried, you can add a lot of frying or egg or anything, then it goes a little above 70. So I'm careful on that count to maintain this. This should not go like 75 or something. Then it will be very difficult to reduce that weight. Yeah.
Do you feel if when you eat something fried, do your joints ache? Do you feel inflammation in your body?
And not like that. Not these days. I'm perfectly okay health-wise. There is nothing happening to my body because I don't eat lot. I just eat 1 or 2 piece or something. So, and no joint pain for me. Nothing. I'm perfectly okay. And for these meditation purpose, when I go, one particular meditation is there where this chakra, all the energy centers are activated. That exercise is done in that particular type of meditation. Then they checked my blood pressure. And there I record the highest, like say 180 by 130 kind of. They say you cannot do. But each time I have done, with that kind of blood pressure, one cannot do that meditation. They are saying. I told you, beforehand also. Maybe. But I did. Twice I have done. And twice blood pressure was going high. I don't know what kind of worry gets me there during this. but I don't feel anything because of high BP. So I don't think it goes very high. Of course, stress is a bit there these days. Hmm. But I'm getting normal. I'm getting happier. Yes.
Were they Ayurvedic people that said not to do that with the if were they yeah were they there they were Ayurvedic advisors that said not to do the chakra work if your blood pressure was high?
So it is because it is chakra healing, the energy center are being activated. If you have high blood pressure, maybe you will go something out of balance, it will go. That is why
Oh,
they advise like that. But it was okay for me. I didn't feel anything.
yeah.
Yes.
Do your regular when you go to if you go to a regular doctor there, is that person a traditional, well, traditional in India is different than traditional here.
Mhm.
um, if I went to my doctor, they would not be talking about chakras. I would have to go to an alternative physician, like somebody who was a naturopath or a chiropractor might be talking about chakras. But the traditional allopathic medicine, that's our American traditional medicine, does not talk about the chakras. They may say, how is your energy level, but they don't mean chakra energy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
no, I don't go to a doctor, Sophie. Actually,
yeah.
I don't have a doctor. I don't go
Okay.
to hospitals. I don't take any medicine.
Yeah,
So
for you. Me
uh,
neither. Me neither.
so there is no doctor for me. So I don't get checked up also. That I should be doing. But once you
Mhm.
start doing, these people will have a lot of advice. You have to do this, you have to do that.
Yeah,
And then you
yeah,
get into a lot of complications. Unnecessarily, you invite trouble into your life.
yeah.
So that is why if there is very small thing, so uh, every now and then, sometimes if I get something like, say, really I'm getting uneasy on something, then I
Hmm.
watch what did I do wrong.
Yeah,
So I take care of that only without
yeah,
taking any medicine. And mm, just eat, drink, whatever, this
yeah,
tea,
yeah,
this leaf tea does a lot of good to me.
yeah, yeah. Um, do you drink green tea or white tea?
Not white, but the other tea.
Not white.
The, yeah, not
Green,
white.
green.
Green tea
Okay.
or
Yeah.
say the black tea. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Okay. Um, I don't go to a doctor if I can help it either. In the US, you don't have to, but most people have some kind of coverage,
Hmm.
some kind of medical coverage. It goes with our social security program and all that kind of stuff. But I don't visit any more than I have to for the exact reason that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, because they'll find one thing and then another and then another, and I'm not doing that.
Yes. Yes.
So last year, this is an example. Last year, when I agreed to take my sister's dog for a walk. She saw
Hmm.
a squirrel, and I wasn't smart enough to let go of the leash, and she
Uh,
pulled me over, and I could feel I know something happened in my shoulder, right? And
uh,
then I went to the hardware store and I was reaching up farther than I should have. I should have
uh,
asked for help, and my feet slipped under me out from under me because the floor was very slippery, and I stoved my uh, left wrist really badly. Most pain since childbirth, but I sat there. Fortunately, nobody was around, right? So I could sit there for a minute as I felt the pain going up my arm,
uh,
and I could move my fingers, so I knew it wasn't broken. But so just recently, so it's been a year, and I have done, energy work on my shoulder and energy work on my hand, on my wrist and hand. And it has helped a lot, because I don't want to have surgery that opens, like you said, that opens a whole other thing. And then before long, you're going for physical therapy and all that stuff that goes with it here. But half the United States is in physical therapy right now. And I'm not saying that it isn't good for some people. I just believe, like you do, that our bodies will heal themselves.
Yeah.
If I had been gushing blood, yes, I would have gone to the hospital, but I wasn't. And so I'm willing to just, I've had to stop doing overhead things with my shoulder, and I just had to let it rest a lot, but I'm willing to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I pretty much agree with you. uh, if I needed, if I really felt like my intuition said, you can't do this yourself, Sophie, you need help, I would go to the doctor for sure. But more often than not, I believe that we can do our own healing.
Yes, very much.
So good for us, right?
Yeah. So that people are learning also from us. Like when you strictly follow something and you are getting the benefit of following that particular path, then people also notice like what you are doing something extra to keep yourself fit, and they also start following. That
Yeah,
is the best way to tell people that the body heals, so you don't have to worry.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. um, when I was in Cleveland, the woman that I stay with, my friend Vivian, who I met in church, I met her and my other friend Donna in church. I met Donna at the mechanic's office, and then she was in church the next weekend. And this was a Unity church, which is a liberal, uh, but Christian, practical Christian church. And it follows all the things that we are talking about, except sometimes it gets off track and politics get involved, and then there's a power struggle and we're back to the beginning. But their basic belief is what we're talking about.
Okay.
And sometimes and I'm sure Vivian looks at me the same way. We basically believe in energy work, and she works with chakras too. um, she has come a long way. She had a lot of heart issues, and she's come a long way in healing herself. So she was in much better shape when I was there than she was just a couple months ago. Her heart goes out of rhythm now and then, and she hasn't been able to get it back in rhythm on her own, so she has to take some medicine for it. But she was in pretty good shape. And we walked, she and Donna and I and one other friend walked. We were at the Scottish Games all day long on Saturday the 24th. It was a lot of fun. We heard a lot of music. We saw some beautiful, humongous dogs. They're called, some of them are Irish deer hounds or Scottish deer hounds. They're like Great Danes. They're huge and hairy. And then they had some beautiful horses, and we saw some jousting, some ancient medieval jousting on horses, and the men were wearing armor, and the horses had armor. And then there are always games where men and women do games of strength with throwing heavy bags of dirt up over a big, tall bar. And it was interesting. They have Scottish games all over the world, just like they have Indian games all over the world and Italian games all over the world. But they have, Donna and Vivian have clans, tartan clans, and genealogy that they can trace. Donna can trace her family back to the Mayflower, the ship that came over, with Christopher Columbus. She has family on that ship. I can't do that. My family in Scotland goes back to when the dirt was forming. So, but we all wore some kind of plaid because that's what you wear to the Scottish games. But it was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah.
We heard some good music and yeah. And so that was kind of that was one of the reasons I went. They said, you should come. We have to go to the Scottish games together. And so I went a week early, well, 2 weeks early, because the Scottish games was at the end of everything. But it was a good visit. And yeah. So I'm glad I went.
Yeah.
So that's all I got, girly. That's about it for me.
How about your grandchildren? How about your grandchildren? They're okay? They are
yeah. They will be here in a couple hours. They come over on Saturday, and then they're with us for 4 days, and then they go back to their mom. She only lives a few minutes away, but they're fine. They're out of school. They're out of school now, and we're waiting for the river to warm up so we can go. Not the river. It's not a lake. We're waiting for the river to get warm enough so that we can swim in it.
Oh, okay.
It's a pretty clean river. Yeah. So they're fine. They're busy with their iPads and their online games. Yeah.
Okay.
But they also there's an ice cream social this afternoon as part of the 4th of July celebration. And I'm not sure if Austin may take them to that. The ice cream will be melting quickly, though. It's going to be hot here today. But they're fine. Yeah, they're glad to be out of school. Rebecca got a lot of awards at the end of the school year. She got several for art. And Rafe got some awards for spelling, and he's 8, but he has an amazing vocabulary. And I don't know where he got it, if it's from being online or what, but he uses long words and he uses them correctly. I'm not sure he can always spell them, although he is a good speller. So that's his claim. That's his claim to fame. He's funny. Last year, when he was only 7, I took him to meet another little boy who is very different. This little kid tries everything. Rebecca is the one who is more fearless. Rafe is a little more careful about stuff, right? So when the boys met one another, we were walking by the river, and Rafe said, at 7 years old, he said, "I'm not feeling confident." And I just almost lost it, because I thought, that is so unusual for a 7-year-old to say, "I'm not feeling confident." And I thought, oh my God, I didn't learn that till I was in my 40s. Anyway, he's a funny kid. He's a pretty funny kid. But he comes up with they both say the strangest things and the funniest things. So I learn stuff from them all the time. I'm not worried about them being on their iPads and everything. They'll be fine. Just like our generation, my generation, everybody was worried that Elvis Presley and his shaking his body was going to be the end of the world as they knew it. And we managed to live through that. So yeah, so they're fine, but thanks for asking.
Yeah.
How's your family? How's everybody there?
So I told you my daughter is now in Sweden, the elder one in Europe.
Sweden? She's in
Yes,
Sweden?
yes.
Oh.
With her husband, because he is a IT professional, so the entire unit uh, has been shifted to Sweden, where they got this project from, and so she is there. And the younger one is with me. She got into one job just a month back. So today is her 1 month completed. So she is into something now, because you need to get into something to then start your journey, So that journey has started. So yes, and
Does she likes it?
Because she has got into a similar kind of job that I have been working all my career, no? So both of them have got some taste of what I have been doing. Like say, I love reading, writing a lot. So the elder one has got that taste. She reads and she loves writing. And the younger one, by default, she has got into this career.
By default. her hormone, her genetics did it, huh? Her DNA.
No, it is you can say, because she didn't choose. It came to her by chance, no?
Yeah.
So
I'm
you
teasing.
kind of, yes, you can say that you kind of attract those kind of things into your life, whatever you have been thinking.
Sure.
The kind of work I have done all my career is something that I also had attracted. So I think whatever you think largely comes to your life.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes. Was your mother or your father a writer?
Both of them wrote a lot.
There you go.
Yes. My father actually is, that has come from my father, and it has passed on to my daughter. My daughter actually lived with my parents, so she has got their traits, lot of them. Yeah.
Wonderful. Your mom and dad are still alive, right?
No. They are not there anymore.
Both of your parents have passed?
Yes.
Okay, mine too. Yeah, mine too.
Mother passed in 2010. Father passed away in 2017 when I came to Delhi. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. And do you have brothers and sisters?
One brother. Yes.
That's it?
Yeah.
One brother. And
Yeah.
Where does he live?
He's there in my hometown only. So he is very careful. He doesn't go outside that hometown kind of. And I have been all over the place.
Yeah. We can't all be the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
I understand.
he actually has taken care of my parents that way, because he stayed there. He could take care of my parents
Sure.
and his wife. She is
Sure.
also very caring.
Yeah.
And my children also stayed with my parents largely, so she also has managed to take care of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my brother has played a very vital role in my life. Yes, that way.
Mm-hmm. Good. Good. When I was in Cleveland, I saw all of my siblings except for one of my brothers, my youngest brother. I didn't get to see, but I have to chuckle. I have to chuckle when I went to. You'll smile when I went to see my one brother. His name is Carl. He's always doing something with his hands. He's retired from working for Ford Motor, but he's very into cars and mechanical stuff. But when I got there, his next door neighbor was having a slab of cement poured in between their houses for a little patio, right? Or in a place to put your garbage cans and stuff. And so my brother Carl and his wife, she was working from home, but she got finished with her job. And so we sat there, and this was like sitting in the temple. We watched them pour the cement, and then we watched them rake it, and we watched them smooth it, and even the swishing noises of the tools they were using was like therapy. It was so funny. We just sat in the shade, of the garage, and we just watched, and we chuckled about just sitting there because we watched this. It's really a lot of work. I mean, you have to have strong back muscles and strong arm muscles. And I told the guy that was working, I said, we're going to give you some applause after you're done because of what you're doing. And he chuckled and he laughed and he said, that doesn't normally happen. He said, usually people are yelling at me because they say I'm in the way. But it was very interesting to watch the process of it starting out as little pieces of grain, and then they smoothed it, and the sound was a nice swishing sound. So it was one of the most relaxing things, next to sitting on the beach with the baby. That was fun.
Okay.
So yeah, there was a lot of time to just relax and think, and not be crazy involved with everything. So yeah, I did that.
Okay then, Sophie, for today.
All right, my dear.
And we will see. And that thing, no, the sister city idea now should go to Ethiopia. You can talk to Ayantu. I'll ask her to speak to you.
Yeah.
And yes, you can, all women should come together and give this a shape.
Yeah. And something, if something happens with Ernest, that's fine, but he's gotta do some work on his end before I commit any more time. And if it works out, that we can do it with the Yantu, that's great. Yeah. Do talk to her however you feel like you need to.
Yeah.
Okay, my dear. Have a good weekend.
Okay. You too.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.